So I'm 24 and I agree to a 48-hour extreme marathon. I sign up for Miss World. I know. Why and how? I think they must be desperate for entrants because I get approached in rural New South Wales, of all places, at the Kiama Showgirl competition, which is very proudly not a beauty pageant.
Sorry.
And, and more about your knowledge of cows. And I say yes, because I am a yes woman. I am bold and courageous, and I have the blind optimism of youth that I can do anything, even though I don't often wear makeup. And so, given I know fuck all about fake lashes and catwalks, I enlist the support of my gay friend Carl, who very enthusiastically agrees to be my stage mum. No one else wants a bar of it, least of all my dad, who keeps saying, "But why?" And so over the course of 2 long days, the other contestants and I must compete through a series of surprisingly grueling challenges at the local yacht club to prove that we are worthy of the glory of being named Miss World Wollongong 2010. We are a rather motley crew of wannabe models, makeup artists, uni students, and a very tattered, very tanned personal trainer called TJ, who looks a bit like a meter maid from the Gold Coast. And we have 2 coaches, a very prim and proper older lady and a very muscular, very scary drill sergeant type called Susie, whose main job seems to be aggressively getting us into line, both literally and figuratively. I'm feeling pretty nervous, but excited and genuinely curious to see what will happen. The first hurdle is public speaking, and everyone is panic-stricken. I feel relatively strong about this part, and I feel I deliver a decent enough speech, though there is a noticeably awkward gasp when I say the reason that I'm entering is to show that intelligent women can win. The next challenge is more cumbersome. I need a talent, which I don't have. Meter Maid does a very high energy dance routine and lots of push-ups, and unable to come up with anything, I decide to do a monologue in Italian. I am fluent in Italian, but this is not based on any kind of actual theatre or pre-planned script, but rather just me, randomly but passionately, speaking to myself in Italian. Ma sei fuori, ma non si può fare così, ma va, no! And fortunately, no one there knows Italian. And by some absolute miracle, they're actually impressed. One of the judges even says, "My God, that girl sounds like a real Italian." And I am chuffed and feeling ready for the next challenge, which is a fitness test outside the yacht club. Why? I have no idea. But I soon discover I am remarkably unfit. And any street cred that I gained from randomly yelling at myself in Italian is soon lost in this beauty pageant boot camp. Red-faced, I am running backwards and forwards, seriously questioning my life choices as I compete in that beep test they make you do in high school, with Sarge Susie screaming from the sidelines and the personal trainer absolutely killing it, leaving us all for dead. I am shattered, but this show must go on because we have an etiquette dinner next. And at this etiquette dinner, where we're being judged on poise and etiquette, I am very reminiscent of Julia Roberts' character in Pretty Woman when she's at that fancy restaurant and she doesn't know what fork to use. I think I'm half pulling it off and I look up to see the posh coach mouthing across the table, "No." Apparently I'm not eating bread correctly. Shit. Clearly, I'm too famished from that goddamn beep test. What a stitch up. Then things start to get proper hairy. I have to do a swimsuit competition in heels. I don't even wear heels, like ever. And so I end up with these 6-inch silver hooker heels that I can barely walk in, let alone traverse down a runway in a bikini. I am almost 6 foot tall in these things, and the full reality of what I've gotten myself into is starting to sink in, and I am beyond stressed. But I refuse to give up, and so I spend a lot of time tramping about Carl's house, practicing my strut and my turn, while watching episodes of America's Next Top Model to try and get in the zone. Carl gives me a very strong spray tan, my first and my last. And then disaster strikes. I've broken a nail. I'm nonplussed. This is the least of my worries. But Carl looks at me like I've taken a dump on his floor and says, "Oh, Lyndal, no," and insists I get a full set of fake nails. So I get the nails done, and then it's time for hair and makeup, which takes an eternity. My hair is so high that I am now almost 7 foot tall. I get put in this big sparkly ball gown, and my full transformation is complete. I look like some kind of Barbie meets Southern Belle Dolly Parton minus the huge tits. And I both look and feel glamorous and absurd. We now arrive at the pointy end of this increasingly bad nightmare, the grand finale. We need to do a fashion parade with multiple outfits, including the bikini and heels get-up. I'm feeling increasing amounts of anxiety at this point. We have to do all of this in front of a large crowd. And backstage, it is absolute Armageddon. It's a very tight, crowded dressing room with all of the contestants and our mentors who are aggressively pep-talking us as though we are footy players about to go onto the field. One of the models is having a meltdown because of the mirrors. She keeps saying, "Where are the fucking mirrors? Oh my fucking God, I'm fat," on repeat. And there's just a lot of stress and a lot of heightened emotion and drama. Then Sarge Susie's belly button ring gets stuck on the back of the door. And she screams at me and says, "You weren't in line." I'm feeling really stressed, on edge, and just kind of in shock at the situation I find myself in. But I need to get a grip quick because I'm up next. I walk out somewhat confidently, somewhat terrified. I strut my stuff. I do my little square of model poses. I don't snap an ankle. I don't fall over. I don't burst out laughing inappropriately. I am triumphant. It's now time for Miss World Australia herself to announce the winner. All the girls who I was sure would win this thing are placed 4th, 3rd, runner-up. And then it dawns on me that there's essentially just me and where are the fucking mirrors left. And I think, surely not. Surely it can't be me. And I feel panic at the thought of having to go on to the next level. And at New South Wales. But thankfully, Mirror Girl wins. And I am saved from ever having to wear these atrocious heels again. I do win the communication award, though. Not sure if it was for English or Italian. And I realise at this point I am the miscongeniality of the group. But I'm okay with that. As much as Carl tried his very best to get me runway ready, it just wasn't me. And even Dad said that at the end. It just wasn't you, Lyndal. And that's okay. I'm just proud of the fact that I actually did it. Like, I actually went the full distance in this and pushed myself so insanely, deeply outside my comfort zone. Thank you, and world peace.